When we think of education, we often focus on schools, books, and formal teaching. But what if we looked at education through the lens of faith? What did Jesus teach us about learning, growth, and wisdom? Jesus didn't follow the traditional methods of education we see today. He didn't have a classroom, and he didn't use textbooks. Instead, he taught through parables, simple, profound stories that spoke to the heart of human experience. Jesus' method was relational, experiential, and deeply personal. He used everyday situations to communicate deep spiritual truths, teaching people not just facts, but how to live with compassion, wisdom, and love. At the core of Jesus' vision for education was relationship. He didn't just want to teach people about God, he wanted to invite them into a living, transformative relationship with him. For Jesus, education was not just intellectual, it was relational. He called his followers to come and see, inviting them to walk with him, to learn from his example. True learning, he taught, comes not only from knowledge but from living out that knowledge in community. Jesus emphasized that education's ultimate purpose is transformation. In Matthew 11 verse 29, he invites us, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." The goal of education, in the eyes of Jesus, is not merely academic success. It's about shaping character, building virtues, and ultimately becoming more like him, more loving, more humble, and more compassionate. Jesus also had a vision of education that was connected to the coming of God's kingdom. He taught that the kingdom was not just a distant hope, but a present reality that we can experience in our lives. To understand this, we need to shift our view of education. Jesus' kingdom education was about inviting everyone, rich and poor, wise and simple, into a life of equality, justice, and peace. His teachings were radical in their inclusiveness, breaking barriers and showing that wisdom was available to all who sought it. While traditional education focuses on intellectual development, Jesus also emphasized the importance of spiritual and emotional growth. In Matthew 22 verse 37, he says, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind." For Jesus, true education wasn't just about gaining knowledge, it was about developing the heart, nurturing the spirit, and transforming our actions. He called us to love deeply, not only with our minds, but with our hearts, our souls, and our very lives. One of the most striking elements of Jesus' educational vision was his focus on service. In Mark 9 verse 35, he said, "Anyone who wants to be first must be the very last, and the servant of all." Jesus' example was clear: education is not just about learning for self-gain, but learning in order to serve others. He demonstrated that true wisdom is shown in how we treat others, how we serve, and how we love. Jesus' vision of education was about far more than facts and figures. It was about transforming hearts, minds, and lives. It was about relationship, service, humility, and love. True learning, he taught, begins with the heart and leads us into the kingdom of God.